We're live. We're back with day number 9 of the 30 Days That Suck series. I'm your outstanding host, Mr. Joey Edibles. How is everybody today, man? It's a nice hot day out there today. Beautiful Cleveland. Today's topic is airline travel and how much it sucks. Now, this problem goes back not just right now. I mean, if you go back to the beginning of airline travel, you go back way back when. You go back to the 1930s or so was probably the first viable airline travel. It sucked then, and it just went downhill after that. Now, back in the day, it was better because, people dressed up for airline travel. When they went to the airport, it was an event for the rich. It was fun. But that was where the fun ended. Like, they had the amenities, but, say you wanted to go from here, Cleveland, to, Beijing or something, or somewhere in the Orient or in Africa, you'd have to hop a bunch of different spots in the plane. I mean, look at some of them ads from back in the day. It's great. You'd have, 15 different spots on a. Do you remember Indiana Jones with the plane with the jet skis? It would land like that. You'd have 15 different spots on something like that. And and then after the war, I mean, that was back with the props. If you guys remember the props. You've seen planes with props before from back in the day. We'll say hi to some people. Who we got in here? Chadio was in here earlier. Talk about his best. Yeah, he was flying right before the mask stuff. We'll get into that, how much it sucked. CB's CB actually has a plane, I think. But yeah, he was talking about overseas flying, how it's not safe. We'll touch on some of that here in a bit. Who else is out there? Mick is in the chat. Serge is there too. What's up, buddy? Yeah, so in the 30s, went from that. And then in the 40s, obviously, we had World War II, so there wasn't much commercial traffic. But, that's when we started the jet engine in the 30s. Or the 40s, sorry, during World War II. The latter half of World War II is when we started doing the jet engines. And in the 50s, man, airplanes took off. I would say in the 50s was probably the golden era of travel. Now, people still dressed up in the 50s and stuff, and they had the jetliners and whatnot, but it was all regulated. The government just said, okay, these are the flights you could do, and that was it. So the profits were essentially built in or kind of financed by the government. So, there was no way airlines could lose money back then. But then, Robert, what's up, buddy? How's it going, man? So in the 80s, President Reagan deregulated the airlines, and that's when things kind of the mystique of air travel went down because prices did drop. They really did. In the 80s and 90s were some of the cheapest flights you could do, man. I flew from Cleveland to Chicago for $86. It was cheap as fuck. It was really cheap. And that's as late as 03. I mean, it was cheap. I remember my cousin got married in 99. I flew from here to LaGuardia, and it was only $108 round trip. I mean, that's insane. Can you imagine that now? I'd fly every weekend, bro. Now I fly in New York, it's $300-$400. It's easier to drive. But yeah, so in the 80s, Reagan deregulated the airlines. And that's when I first flew, was the 80s, actually. I think in 86 is when I first flew. I flew from Cleveland to Chicago. Because back in the day, we had relatives we lived in the Chicago suburbs. We had relatives back in Cleveland, so we just flew it. It was pretty cool. But I didn't really fly again we didn't really fly much in high school. I don't think I flew at all. And then when I got into service, I started flying some more. But Ezra, what up? How's it going, man? But yeah, so after Reagan deregulated in the 80s, that's when the competition started going in, and they started doing, slowly getting rid of all the amenities they had from back, going back to the 30s and stuff, if we're being honest. I mean, they used to have cloth, everything. There's no more cloth in an airplane no more. Used to have cutlery. There's no cutlery anymore. Used to have, actual kitchens where they did food. They had a galley cart. Doing that no more. It's all just preheated stuff. They bring it up to the plane. But after they started nickel and diming this stuff back in the 90s, because there was a couple crashes that really woke things up too. Remember back in 96, there was an airline called Value Jet, and they lost a plane, one of those no-frills planes. And that really shed a spotlight on a lot of it. But the elephant in the room, the thing that really changed airline travel, and I don't think we're ever going to have the same way we did, was 9/11. I mean, before 9/11, you could walk up to the gate, say goodbye to your people, you bring food on, whatever. Nobody gave a fuck. Maybe they did a quick pack down, one search at the gate, and that was about it. It was nice being able to say bye to people right at the gate instead of, outside security. Then once 9/11 hit, and the shoe bomber, remember that guy? And then we got to take our shoes off. There's still no reason to take our shoes off, man. There's no reason. It's horrible. Why are we taking our shoes off before we go on a plane? That makes no sense to me. I hate it. It ruined. That was the major, for me at least, because I didn't fly too much back in the 80s and the 70s and all that, if at all. And the 90s, I flew a little bit here or there, like I said. But like in the 2000s, when I really had money, that's when I really started flying. And it just, man, after they started doing that, it was really annoying. I don't like taking my shoes off for no reason, because it's like, you get your socks dirty because that floor is probably gross. You can't walk around in bare feet because what if, that's disgusting there. I don't like the way they do the shoe thing. And then they started with the TSA, and they just do the most arbitrary stuff. Like you can have, the toothpaste or the little thing of mouthwash, but it can only be so many ounces, but you can have 5 of them, but you can't have, a bit, like say you can have 3, I think it's 3 ounces for a liquid. You could have 3-ounce liquids. You could have 4 containers of 3-ounce liquids of mouthwash, but you can't have the 9-ounce one because why not? Because it's going to crazy fuck up the flight or something. It's ridiculous. The arbitrary standards of the TSAs what started the downfall, man. And after 9/11, we propped up the airlines. Remember that? Too big to fail. The airlines are too big to fail. And what they ended up doing was just giving a bunch of money to airlines to consolidate, kind of. And it really fucked Cleveland in the end of the day. Because like we used to have, back in the day, we had United as a hub. In 84, they took it out, but then Continental came in the 90s. And Continental was a great airline back in the 90s, man. They had flights from Cleveland to everywhere. You can nonstop here to San Antonio. I mean, just obscure places you wouldn't, not saying San Antonio is obscure, but like places you wouldn't normally think of flying to, Cleveland nonstop. Continental would do that shit, bro. They would. But then once United bought out Continental, dude, it went downhill after that. United was here a hub for another 2 years, and they left. And I mean, the airline itself, the airport itself in Cleveland is just, they don't put any money into it now. They got gates that aren't used. And it's like a fucking lark, man. It's that part really sucks. It really does. I just missed if you missed the 90s part of it, because there was talk back in the 90s of they were going to tear down this place called the IX Center and expand the runway. And they never did because the demand in air travel for Cleveland peaked in about the year 2000. That just stopped. And that was it. After that, we've never really we just kept every year. It just seems going down, Yeah, think about all the airlines that were bought out. Go back to Pan Am. Remember Pan Am? My first flight ever. I don't remember the one in the 80s when I was maybe United, but in the 90s when I went to basic training, I flew from Cleveland to San Antonio, and it's Pan Am. No, it was actually TWA. It was TWA actually. Pan Am was later, but TWA flew from Cleveland to St. Louis because they had their big hub in St. Louis. Because that's where Charles Lindbergh flew out of, that's who he was based out of, and that's where all the flights started, was St. Louis. That was a main air hub back in the day. So we flew from Cleveland to St. Louis to San Antonio, and TWA. That airline's not around no more. Think about, what was the other one? There was one based out of Pittsburgh. Yeah, U.S. Air, like Chadio said. Boom, they're gone. They bought out by U.S. Airlines. Piedmont Airlines bought out. Yeah, I mean, Robert, you've never been on a plane, brother? Wow, you got to, man. Flying is fun. I mean, it gets you there faster if you don't have the security issues. Now, I mean, if we're continuing the timeline, after 9/11, I mean, obviously the whole nonstop war kind of fucked up air travel, and just a constant back and forth with, different security procedures. Is this good? Is this not good? And then, once COVID hit, I mean, that was the fucking nail in the coffin. I mean, you had flights going out with 5% on it. I mean, obviously everybody was grounded. We had stay-at-home orders. But, we couldn't really go anywhere. So that was just fucking boom. And now I've been reading they got workers. There's nobody to work these flights, man. And nobody to work the flights, you're getting cancellations. And you get cancellations, you get angry people. It's not good. Southwest has always been a good company, man. Southwest is probably my favorite airline. It really is. It really is. Because I like Southwest because you can pick them areas, but you don't have to. Like, I don't like a middle seat. I don't, man. I like sitting right in the aisle, because the aisle I can put my foot out. When the people's not coming, because I'm tall, man. I'm 6'3", bro. I don't like the middle seat, and I'm bigger too. I'm 240, 250 sometimes. I'm stuck in that middle seat if it's a bunch of guys with me. I've been there where it's been me and then a guy here and a guy here, and both the guys all three of us are over 250. That's not a comfortable flight, man. If it's like a kid or something, or like I'm traveling with the kids, or there's a couple girls there or whatever. That's not, even if it's a bigger girl, I don't care. Whatever, we'll spill into each other. But I don't like touching guys, so it's like you got, you got all these big guys in a 3-decker seat, man. That's horrible. But yeah, Southwest has always been my favorite for that. But let's go back to some of these earlier ones here. That's another thing too, is that like airline standards for over the seas is just so different than over here. I mean, I've traveled in Honduras, was probably the lowest level country I've flown in. And we flew from where we're at this place called La Ceiba. And we took a flight to go to a little island called Roatan. And it was pretty slick. It was a fun flight, but yeah, it was a time. I mean, you feel like really rickety, like, wow, I wonder if this thing's gonna make it. But then you're like, these guys wouldn't put their life on the line to fly. So it's like, in the back of your head, you think of some of the crashes over there. You're like, hey. Chadio says, my best flight was in April of this year. They dropped the mask mandate 3 days before I flew. Yeah, see, I only flew once with the mask mandate. Was it once? Yeah, only once, I think. Because in 2020, I didn't fly at all. And then last year, me and Jimmy went down to the Virgin Islands, and that was the only time with the mask mandate. That did get annoying. It really did. You're sitting there like, oh, that was good. And they didn't fuck around on the planes, dude. The stewardesses, flight attendants, whatever you want to call them, they would just, up, sir. You gotta have it up. You gotta have it up. You're like, unless you were actively eating food, you had to have this shit up. You could do, like, I remember at the ball games, we would just sit there. A lot of guys have beer, and pop, whatever, water, and just sit there. You just be drinking it all the time with your mask down here. They didn't let that shit fly in the airplane, dude. They're like, fuck that shit. Thomas, what up? Let me get back to some of the more recent comments. I always pay a little extra. Yeah, that's true. If you're out there and it's well, it depends also if you got who's next to you. If it's an empty flight and there's nobody next to you, I wouldn't mind the window seat for sure. I mean, that's ideal. Ideally, you get nobody buying the other 2 seats and you get all 3 seats. That's what I fuck with. You can stretch out and sleep and shit. But I mean, it seems like every flight I've been on, granted, I haven't really flown much. I don't think I've flown at all this year. But like most of them seem like they're a sellout to where you can't even do that. I don't like sold out flights because you get no luggage room at all. It's like I was usually bring the laptop bag, and then I try not to do a check-on or carry-on, or not carry-on. What's the other one? The check bag. I try not to do check bag because it's just too much. It's waiting for that baggage carrier. So a lot of these airlines, they charge too. If you want to talk about nickel and diming, that was something back in the day. You used to get like 2 bags. You could have your carry-on, another bag, all for free per person. And now, man, they charge you. And then they start charging for the second carry-on. You could have 1 bag free. And then most, if not all of them, still charge you for both for the first bag now. Southwest might not. I'm not sure if Southwest still has a free policy, but like last time I flew a couple times, it was if you had a check bag, you had to pay for that shit. And usually it's not too much, but I mean, if you're already paying $350 for the ticket, then another $30, it's like, what the fuck, man? I got time for this. J.O. says he had the whole row himself last year from Tampa to Denver. Nice. Denver's airport's kind of cool. I like Denver. When you go there, they have the big racks for the skis. Huge ski racks, man. Because obviously everybody goes to Vail and they go fucking down the hills and shit. They're really trying to just jam out. They need all them big-ass racks. Out of airports in the States, the airports, I've been to most of the airports in the States, believe it or not, because like when you fly, there's always a lot of connectors. So like I've been to LaGuardia, I've been to JFK, been to Newark, actually. Those are all the big 3 in New York City. I think I've been to Dulles. I'm not sure about Reagan National in D.C. Been to BWI many times, Baltimore, Washington. Been to O'Hare and Midway, obviously in Chicago. The biggest airport, I think, is O'Hare. It goes back and forth between O'Hare and Atlanta. Like, what's the one in Atlanta? Hartsfield. That's a big-ass airport, man. I was down there in 2004 because we were flying to Korea. So we flew from Cleveland to Atlanta, then Atlanta over to Seoul. That was the longest flight I've had, I think, was it nonstop. That was 14 hours in the air. But that was cool, though, because, like, when you fly, this at least back then, I think it's changed now, but, like, back in the Korea Air was one of my favorite airlines, man. That was the overseas, because a lot of what they do, not every country, but a lot of the countries, they'll finance the airlines. Like, if you ever seen the Fly Emirates and shit like that, it's a state-backed airline, and they go all out with the stuff. I mean, I flew in Korean Air. It's like, geez, this is like Shangri-La compared to, the States Airlines. They had actual cutlery and, whatnot. It was really nice. But yeah, we had because they used to give free beer on overseas flights. So it was really nice. I don't know if they do that anymore. I really don't. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Sorry about this delay. I got something I got to take care of. Give me 1 second. Things do come up. Give me 1 second. God damn it. Hold on. We shall return momentarily. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that, guys. We are back. I know the show's it seems like it's a little dragging today, but that's how airline travel is. It drags. You're sitting there in the terminal thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to fly out. And then nope, they cancel your shit. I guarantee you there's someone here right now watching this show who either had a flight canceled in the past week or knows somebody with a flight that's canceled in the past week. And there's some people on vacation right now. This 4th of July weekend is going to be absolute dog shit for travel, dude. It's going to be dog shit. People are not going to, they're going to be stuck. If you want to make some money, here's a good side business option, dude. Go to some of these airports, just drive around the front, go walk up in there, see if you can get in there. Be like, yo, I got a place to stay for like $20 or whatever. And hustle them guys because they're getting all the hotels going to be sold out. Get some people to come over and stay at your garage, have a big party or something, man. It could work because I've read there 700, 800 flights are getting canceled this weekend because of lack of workers. It's a combination of it's hot and the airlines probably ain't paying them. I mean, all these shows kind of tie together with everything sucks. It's just the economy is basically the thing, and that makes airline travel even worse. If you're out there, and I mean, I've said a lot of you guys are barbecue guys. Follow Todd Tobin. He flies to airports all the time. I've followed him all week. He's been delays all over the place. Like he can't get out of an airport sometimes, and that's just a regular guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you haven't checked out Robert, for sure, check out Robert. We need to get Robert in a plane, man. We need to. All right, Chadio says it takes 10 minutes to deboard. Well, that's where you're at, because in Denver, you got all the fucking guitars and shit. That's a weird thing that people bring on planes that you would never think of. But man, those guitar cases. Imagine if every person brought a guitar on a plane. Like if you had like a fucking guitar or fiddle convention or some shit, and everybody wanted to go to the same place and they're all flying in, that'd be a lot of space. They'd have to have another thing you have to have a whole nother plane for the luggage with the guitars and the fiddles and all that. And golf clubs are another thing too. I know people like their golf clubs, but man, they'd be a lot to travel with. Fucking golf clubs, fuck that. I guess you'd have to get a top in the bag and shit and fucking roll with that. But I mean, Jesus. Man, some of these guys traveling with golf clubs and a fucking, bicycle and shit. It's pretty damn ridiculous. Yeah. Robert, if we were to fly you, bro, where would you go? We could fly Robert to, I don't know, fly him out to Vegas and like have him ride a tricycle or something. Mick, what up? It says, hey, Joey. Say hi to Skipper at Liam and Russ. Sorted everything for you in New York. Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. I'm going to get all my stuff together. I got to go to Detroit tomorrow and to get some provisions. And I got to get that passport paperwork sent. I can't find the original passport, but I think I got a picture of it online somewhere. So I'm going to use that and ask them, what if I don't have my original passport? Can I still do this? And I think they'll work it. I'll have to call up there. Honestly, it's been a crazy week with everything going on in terms of planning this and planning the regular show and just dealing with life. It's been a wild journey. Like I said, I wanted to go at 11 today, but fucking work was like, no, bro, you got a meeting. I was like, that's cool. I had no problem with the meeting, but it's it gets crazy. Krabby Turtle, what up? We chilling out here. We just having some fun. We rocking it here in Cleveland, talking about how airline travel sucks. And the thing that sucks about airline travel is that the main thing, recently at least, especially when they start canceling these flights, dude, is that they never, like, say you're at the airport, your flight's canceled. Oh, what do you got to do? We got to go rebook. Where's the rebooking line? It's way the fuck over there. And it's like in Christmas Story, man, when Ralphie was going up the thing. Oh, so the line ends here. It starts way down there. I've never been in a rebook line that wasn't more than like 50 people deep. Like, it's ridiculous. And then to get through to anybody, forget about it. Hour wait, 2 hour wait. Like, they really need a standard set out by the government for customer service shit. Customer service is going to be another show too. How much customer service sucks. But like, imagine trying to get through to Continental or Continental. Imagine you're calling United or calling American Airlines and you're rebooking your flight. You're not going to be able to do it. You're going to be on hold for 4 hours. And the guy's probably not going to be at that place. Back in the day, they used to have the places in, like I remember with one in Houston, they had the big, huge Continental Airlines call center out there. Oh, they were all in one consolidated spot. Now you're probably getting somebody from God knows where, not from the States, I'll tell you that. And it's frustrating as fuck when you're reading a script. And they don't. Thank you for calling. Yeah, and then just reading. Oh God, that's irritating. Because when you're traveling and you get told a script, and they can't help you right then. There's nothing available. That's not what you want to hear. That's not what you want to hear. Fort Wayne to Clearwater. Nice. Allegiant Airlines. That sounds like not Frill Airlines. I don't know. See, I've never flown on Spirit, bro. I never have. A lot of my buddies like Spirit, but like I don't do the. This is weird because like I love travel, but like and Southwest is good. Southwest used to be considered the bargain, but now Southwest is kind of like a middle tier. It seems like. So you think back in the day it was like Southwest, and then the middle tier was like, whatever United, and then you had your. I don't know what the top frill was back then, but first class and whatnot. But Southwest was considered a bargain back in the day. Now, I remember like basic cigarettes back in the day. They used to be like the cheap ones, and then after a while they came out with like smokes and all the other ones that are real cheaper than basics. So Southwest turned. I mean, it's a good company though. I mean, I don't know how the worker situation is right now, but my goodness. Oh, that's let's see right here. It says this airport is arresting quite a few people going through security check with handguns. Yeah, okay. Now you got to be a special kind of dumbass to bring a gun into an airport terminal. Like, okay, if 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000, a buddy plays a joke on you, you forget about it. That doesn't typically happen. Like, leave your gun at home. You got to go through that whole body. They can see everything. Like, you can't get anything through them detectors. That's another thing that sucks too. Now I think about that full body imaging scan. Like, nobody wants to go through that. That's pretty invasive. They see your junk. They see your, if you're a girl, they see your hoo-has or boobs and shit. There's been many cases of the TSA, doing whatever, and that's not appropriate. And geez, man, if we're really being nitpicky, that's probably the main thing that sucks about travel is going through that scanning machine. I don't know how it is in other countries, but like here in the States, you basically got to stand up, right? And then there's this thing that goes, woo, and there's a full body image of you. So if you got anything on your waist, and that's why, and okay, we have that, that's fine. But why do we have that? And we also got to take our shoes off. And we also got to take our belts off. That part makes no sense to me. Do one or the other. Don't do both. Why do we got to do both? Why are we taking our shoes off and getting fucking 5,000 megawatts of radiation blasted into us or whatever it is? Like, fuck, man. I ain't got no time for the radiation. It's bad enough we probably get all these x-rays when you're just walking through a regular place and you got to go to the airport. Imagine these guys with these pilots and shit and these flight attendants and all that. My God. You're probably going to die of radiation poisoning by the time they're 50. Vanessa says the lady was arrested with an actual police. Right. There's a little actual chart right there of things you can't bring in. Like clear as fuck. And people still, I always like looking at that joke and like you say like things caught in security. It's like they got a hand grenade up there and shit. It's like who the fuck brought a hand grenade in there? There's no way somebody did that. They just acted like they did that. They didn't do that shit. So my right arm beeps. Oh, okay. Yeah, they do have the TSA pre-check line because we went through that. I was with the kids once and they just let me go through that, and that was really nice. That was just empty your pockets, go through the metal detector. I didn't mind that. But man, that big ass machine, fuck that thing, dude. I don't. It just. I mean, I don't know what. I'm not an expert on the machine. I mean, maybe, but they're seeing inside shit. It's got to have like X-rays. No, some kind of technology. Can't be good for you. I don't. I mean, I'm not sure, but I've never actually had my luggage lost. I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever have, because usually I'm not checking a bag. I travel really light. Like sometimes I'll just have my computer bag, like with the laptop. I always bring my laptop. Sometimes I'll just have my laptop and I'll put the change of clothes in the pocket and just have one pair of shoes. I don't even have an extra bag. I mean, I'll travel light as shit. I'm a real light traveler. So, I mean, like, look, besides, because half the time, especially if you're going out, I mean, it might have changed now with the prices, but like a lot of times it's cheaper just go, I'll go to the Dollar General right down the street from where I'm going to, buy a thing of shampoo when I get there, and as opposed to fucking bringing it, it's ridiculous. Courthouse here asked what the P-38 was with my keychain and issue came over for 1982. Oh, jeez. That happened to me when I was in, God, where were we? This is back in 08. We were going up to the Empire State Building. And they had, if you ever go to the Empire State Building, you got to go through metal detectors. Kind of just like the airport almost. And they made me take out, I had this little tiny pocket knife. It was like that big. I got from the dollar store. I had it with me for like a year and a half. It was kind of cool. They're like, oh, yeah, you can get this. You got to take this little slip, and then we'll put it over here. And you come back. I'm like, I ain't fuck with that. It's probably still in a drawer somewhere at the Empire State Building. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just to sum up all this shit, dude. Airline travel is just not. I don't think it's ever going to be what it was. I mean, it might be even getting worse. It really might be. I mean, you saw some of those. I don't know if you've seen over the past week some of those drawings for the budget airline concepts. I mean, they got you on top of each other. And people have proven time and again they don't give a fuck what it costs or what they got to go through. They'll just pay the lowest price. So I'm not too high on the future of air travel. I'm really not. It's probably gonna get drastically worse, especially. I mean, fuel prices still keep going up. I don't know what jet fuel costs. I don't know if that's directly tied in with like petroleum and all that, but I mean, I don't see it getting better. I mean, they ain't got workers right now. I mean, you're gonna have to. For one, they have to. For not having workers right now, they're gonna have to pay a lot more wages to get people to come out there and work that. And what it was people got sick of the harassment, the flight attendants and all that. TSA workers got yelling at people to put on masks for a year and a half gets fucking annoying after a while. Imagine doing that for a living. You get paid a shit wage. It's not worth it. They're like, fuck this. Give me $25 an hour. I ain't coming back. I mean, I wouldn't do it. Would you go work for an airline? Fucking listen to all these entitled fucks all day? Fuck you. Nope. I've thought of signing up for TSA pre-check, but I don't travel enough to justify it. You know what I mean? I might fly once a year, once every 2 years. Even the most I'll fly is like 2-3 times a year. I never do it to the point where, it's worth it. If I traveled 5-6 times a year, I would 100% do it. But I just don't travel enough, to be honest with you. But the one time they did, like I said, when we were going to with the kids, it was me and the kids were flying somewhere, and they just let us right to the thing. I was like, fuck yes, dude. I'm in agreement with this. I love walking right through. I used to travel with my mom too before she passed, and whenever we travel with her, she was in a wheelchair, so they always let her go. That was kind of nice. So, ew, Robert, that's disgusting. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming out today. Sorry it wasn't too energetic. I was trying to find somebody. I couldn't really think of anybody who's not working today who I didn't already have up. So, as far as tomorrow's topic, I'm going to be up in Michigan, so I got to get a hold of BC from BC's Beer Reviews. I'll probably do it with him if I can, if he's down to collab. It'll probably be said, Shandor, what's up, buddy? How's life, man? So it's going to be with BC. I don't know exactly what it'll be yet. If you guys got topics, suggestion topics on things that suck, hit me up, man. Most of you got me on social media or just leave in the comments here below or just tell me right now, and we'll definitely do it. We got, what's today? Today's 9, so we got 21 more days. And you know me, I'll always finish a project, so we'll be on to that. So thanks everybody for coming out. There's something else I was going to tell you guys. Oh yeah, tonight is, what's today? Okay, I keep thinking today's Friday. It's not. Oh, today's the last day of June. Thank God, man. I'm so done with this month. To sum up, like, and if you guys remember when I fucking got in that Vespa accident, that was June 1st. And I'm convinced, man, that June was just fucking cursed for me because, dude, I ain't got one call back on an email or one email back saying, oh, yeah, I'll do the show and confirm date. I've gotten like 10 people said, oh, yeah, I'll do the show. And then they just don't say anything. I'm convinced that fucking June is out to get me. This is not my month. So thank God June's over. I mean, I think all the other stuff that happened in June. My brother-in-law died, didn't get the monetization, Vespa accident. Nobody's calling me back. I mean, end of the day, I'm still, I still got a lot of things to be thankful for. But like in terms of what I was trying to accomplish, June was not on my side. But that's okay. Like anything in life, it's just an obstacle you overcome and roll with it and then go from there. And we'll be back stronger in July. So this is probably going to be the last time you see me on this channel for June. So we're going to rock it in July, man. Tomorrow's Canada Day. 4th of July is coming up. Fucking A, bros. We're going to have a blast. All right, man. Appreciate you guys for coming out. Like I said, tomorrow, probably 11, 12, 1, someone there. I'll post it later when I hook up with BC and we'll go live and then talk about it. And we'll see you later on Leprechaun TV. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.